Hello and welcome to Aful Reviews in English, and today's TLDR look at the Aful MagicOne. These IEMs have been sent to me by Hi-Fi Go. No affiliation with Hi-Fi Go. You can find out more by checking out the full review, which is linked in the description, or just head over to afulreviews.com. Okay, starting off with something good. These are a set of single BA IEMs that come in like €130. And they are well built. They include a nice cable, a decent storage case or transport case, some different sets of tips. I actually like the fact that one side is red and the other side is blue. I mean, maybe not as helpful for these because you already know which one is which, but this would be a good idea for a lot of other sets that are more difficult to find out which side is which. But anyway, I digress. Single BA driver, and they actually perform pretty well for a single BA driver. It's been a long time since I've had a single BA come across my desk, and I wasn't expecting much. But they actually perform pretty well. They are not a bad set of IEMs at all as a single driver, a single dynamic driver. And I think they're in a section that there's not a lot of competition at the moment. So if you're looking for a set of single BA IEMs, you can do a lot worse than these. Now, something bad. They're unvented, which means if you're somebody who suffers from buildup of pressure in your ears over time, or with unsealed, unvented IEMs, these are something you're going to notice. I did notice it over longer sessions. I'm not sort of too prone to it, but I did notice it after long sessions. So if you're somebody that suffers from that, you will notice. The best. These do a very good job of detail and layering and separating those layers, and they're not a huge soundstage, but they do use that soundstage that they do have very well, and they're good at placing stuff, and they are pretty impressive in that regard. They have a nice mid-range. For example, in the review I mentioned things like the fretless bass in Diamonds on the Soles of His Shoes, where you might be missing a bit of warmth, which I'll mention in a second, but you can literally pick out everything that the bassist is doing in that track. The same with other tracks where you may have heard a track a lot of times before, many times before, but don't realize how complex maybe the acoustic guitar playing is until you listen to something that picks out those details, and these do a very good job of that. Now, the worst, in my opinion, is the fact that they do inherit some of the issues of BA, just single BA IEMs. The lows are, it's strange because the lows are there. Like the sub bass, there is sub bass. It plays sub bass down to 25 hertz, but there's no rumble. There's no presence, as in there is presence, but it's a much sort of like toned down, polite thing than an actual rumble. And the same can be said for the actual mid bass, where it's mid bass is even slightly above my personal preferences, but it's just done in such a polite way that it does give things the sensation of lacking some body and some weight in those lower notes. And then in the upper range, there's sort of like a boost around 6K, which does mask the treble above it. Now, playing around with EQ, bringing that 6K down slightly, it reveals a treble which is not the most extended and so on, but it is smooth and it's a nice treble, but it's sort of masked by that boost at 6K. So yeah, that to me is maybe the worst thing, where bringing that 6K down slightly, I mean, at least it's not 5K, which is something I'm very delicate with, but the 6K, if we bring it down slightly, it does reveal a better treble. So yeah, the worst for me, as I say, would be that sort of like lack of weight in the low end and the lack of presence in the upper ranges in the treble, not because they're not there, but because they're sort of like overshadowed by that peak at 6K. But anyway, I go into a lot more details in the full review. Check it out if you want. It's linked in the description, or just head over to afulreviews.com, and I'll be back with another one soon. See you later.